100 lashes for stealing bread. Yes, bread. She poisoned his daughter's entire wedding party. Over 200 people dead. Was this justice, or was this something else? In my mind, this is justice. This happened in 1857, and this is Black AF history. The unwhitewashed story of America. These are the stories they didn't tell you in school, and it is here on the TikTok shop. I will link it below. Make sure you do not get scammed and get it off of IG or Facebook. Those links are not good, and they will get you a counterfeit copy. Make sure you grab it off of TikTok shop, who is sold from the original publisher, HarperCollins. The whip cracked across my back for the 100th time, and I felt my consciousness slipping away like water through broken fingers. Blood ran down my spine in rivulets, pooling in the dirt beneath the whipping post where I hung by my wrist, my feet barely touching the ground. But even though the hazy of agony, I could hear my master's voice counting each stroke with the methodical precision of a man conducting business. 101, 102. My name is Martha, and I'm about to tell you how a single piece of bread led to the death of 15 people at the most elegant wedding South Carolina ever seen. But first, you must understand what brought me to this moment, hanging like a piece of meat, while Master Cornelius Ashford counted out my punishment for the crime of feeding my starving child.
Chasing our history. I'm at an actual slave house. This house is actual, built in 1840. A lot of stuff in here is original. That chest is original. The fireplace, original. The doors, original. The floor is in question, but you can tell by the warping that it could be original. This house was built in 1840. It is said that 16 slaves lived in this house. 16 enslaved people. So what would have happened is the men would have slept downstairs. The women would have slept upstairs. Now, these are 12-patch. This is a 12-patch quilt that the slaves would have had. Every quilt had a message. Look at the wear and tear on this stuff. Look at these mattresses. Look at the wear and tear. They look to be over 200 years old. That's how old this stuff looked. The more I'm on this floor, I'm starting to realize this floor was probably original because of the bucking of the floor. This is upstairs. The women would have slept up here. This is where the women would have slept, upstairs. This would have also been a house of horror because rape would have happened in this house as well. Most slave houses where you bunk the women and the men, it's a great chance that rape is going to happen. This slave house was moved to Atlanta to this museum. It was built in 1840 when Pastor Wilkins of Chasing Our History. Be blessed.
So this is the tunnel to the door of no return at the Christian Pastor Atusu in Accra. This is the tunnel that it passed through to get to the door of no return. Look at how tiny that is. And about 500 inmates were conveyed through this tunnel at a time. is the outside of the door of no return. The moment that you get out of the castle, this is how it looks like. You see how tall the castle is? It will be very difficult for you to escape. So this is how the castle always is. Yeah.
Yeah, so just like we have in all the castles in Ghana, when you get to Elmina Castle, there is a door of no return. Cape Coast Castle, it is there. This is known as the door of no return because once you are a slave and you are brought out, you could not go back. Whenever the ship arrives, the ship will be about 300 meters away to the shore. They march slaves from the dungeons, move them through the door of no return. They use small boats to convey the slaves to the ship, and then the ship will take the slaves away to the Virgin Islands.
Just a question. Did any of the ships, when they come on the door, when it's heavy, shot?
They were shot. Once we tried it.
Because I'm so assuming you don't know a shot. You still trying. Wow. Oh, you want to get that for your footage?
Yeah.
Let me say it again? All right. You can be laughing, man. I got it. Once people come on the door because they run away. Next time we get you.
I got it.
Alright, so before we exited the door of no return, there was a dark room to the left. It's a tunnel. It's known as the Richter Tunnel. Richter was a private slave trader. He was Danish, but then he was married to a local. He built his house in the Husu community where he used to be slaves. He was so rich and so powerful that at the point, he became governor of the castle. In 1803, Denmark became the first European country to abolish slave trade. You could no longer transport slaves outside the country. Because of how lucrative it was, people wanted to continue illegally transporting slaves. Richter happens to be one of such people. He dug a tunnel straight from his house to the door of no return so that he could continue illegally smuggling slaves. And that's a tunnel is 800 meters away. Richter.
The slave did everything here in the chambers: defecate, urinate, eat, vomit, and every sort of thing here. So the waste has to have piled up to a certain point. You see the white marks on the wall? That was the level of the human waste that was left behind. In the year 1974, a group of archaeologists from the University of Ghana came to this castle, excavated the first chamber. So that is how we got to know that the bent bricks that we are seeing right now is the original floor of the dungeon. When they excavated the first chamber, they purposely left this portion for us to see how the chamber was like. And should in case someone doubts the histories or the stories here, they can take samples of it to see, test on it, see if it has human DNAs. And the three holes that you see up here is a source of light and ventilation.